I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman, because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. It's Sunday Fun Day, August 10th, 2025. It is 9:04 p.m. Eastern in the big city. Do you know where your elected officials are? Oh, no. I just saw that, Kate. It's going to have to be something that we talk about. It's a big thing. Okay. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're doing well. Hope everything's going smoothly where you are. Hope you've had a wonderful weekend. When we were last together on Thursday, man, I was drained. I was just drained. I'd had a busy week, and I honestly went back and watched Thursday's show last night because I didn't remember any of it. So I'm glad that you sat through it with me. It was a short show, but we got through a lot of content, and we are feeling great tonight. Thank God. Thank the Lord above. It has been a beautiful day, a warm day. Can't wait for it to cool down a little bit. But we are here. We've got a lot of content to get through this evening. If you're here, I want to welcome you. Thank you for giving us a little bit of your time. I understand it's very valuable and important. We would ask that you please smash that like button on YouTube. Smash that like button. Hit the bell. If you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel on YouTube, or subscribe to us, click share, become our friend, whatever, follow on X, on Facebook. Now, I got to tell you, people, I'm getting a lot of people over the last couple of days that have sent me friend requests. I have reached the maximum on the friend requests for my personal page, Kristopher H. Bilbrey. But just come on and send it anyways and follow me on that page, because that's my main page. That's where I release a lot of stuff. Everything I put there, I try to also release on our Political Spotlight Facebook page as well. So you can go over there and connect to that one. All right, do that. But sometimes I might miss something. If you want to know it, it's on Kristopher H. Bilbrey. I try to get as much over that. And then I also try to get stuff to the X account, to Twitter as well. If you want to follow us on our social medias, you can do that here. YouTube.com /@thepoliticalspotlight, rumble.com /C/thepoliticalspotlight, Facebook.com/political spotlight. There was no the there. Political Spotlight 318. Facebook.com/Bilbrey 318. And then X.com/Bilbrey Live. The studio line is there. You can text the studio line if you're so inclined. You can also, that kind of rhymed. You can also email us at my personal email and at the program email. So that's all there. If you're watching from Facebook, leave Facebook and go to our YouTube account. That's where you're going to be able to comment with the people who are watching the show. If you're watching live, you need to be watching here on YouTube so you can comment over here live. If you're watching in the future via the replay button, you'll comment down below and we will get with you. So we've got a lot to talk about this evening. I just got a text. Somebody just told me. I'm letting you know for the new people. I know we've got some new people here. We are a political commentary program. I don't do normally like, oh, the police are getting me, or the police are harming me, or the police are bad to me, or this or that or whatever. It's all politics. And if I talk about police related stories, it generally relates to corruption and how it ties into politics. I'm a political commentator. I am not a journalist. I do not consider myself a journalist. I do not do news or journalism crap. That being said, because of what I do from time to time, we do find ourselves breaking news, but that's just because that is a byproduct of what I do here. So that's that. All right. So tonight's show, first up, I've got another action-packed show for you all this evening. First up, we're going to be talking about, well, let's just run through the description here. This is the 504th episode of the show. For you newbies, we are live 5 nights a week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 5 nights a week, Sunday through Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And tonight is obviously Sunday. So on this 504th episode of the Political Spotlight, host Kristopher H. Bilbrey, that's me. Producer Kate is down below making sure everything's working smooth, looking stuff up for us when we need it, and making the show go. All right. She's the brains behind the operation. It's kind of like Beauty and the Beast, I guess, if you'd want to call it that. But I think there's already another podcast picking up 80 pounds of shrimp Tuesday. I see this. So I can go get them peeled and frozen before I leave on vacation. Talking 50 pounds of trunk shrimp. Taking 50 pounds of trunk shrimp to Tennessee on the 18th. I know. That is amazing. Trunk shrimp. That's a whole big long thing there. Trunk shrimp. He's going to tear into Ridenauer's turf there with the Political Spotlight and Mayor Dan Ridenauer, Mayor of Muncie. Trunk shrimp. $5 per pound. $20 for 3 pounds. Cash only. I think Alva's deal is going to actually be better. Alva's going to travel with ice. Hello, Bradford. Welcome. All right, so the show on this 504th episode of the Political Spotlight, I will be discussing the arrest of the Anderson City police officer that a lot of you know. The officer was taken into custody by the FBI in a relatively quiet manner. And we'll talk about that. We'll be talking about the picnic hosted by the local Delaware County Republican Party. They'll say it went off wonderfully, but people with eyes might say, wait a minute, seemed to be sparsely attended. And then finally, we'll cover the busy week ahead, Delaware County Solar Ordinance meeting, Anderson's Redevelopment Commission meeting, Madison County Council meeting, the City of Muncie's Unsafe Building Hearing Authority meeting. It's going to be quite a week. Langley family, thank you. Okay, so first up, we're going to be discussing the surprising or not so surprising arrest of Anderson City Police Officer Tyray Wilson by federal agents on Tuesday, August 5th, reportedly on narcotics-related charges. Wilson was booked into the Delaware County, not Madison County, jail. And there's a little bit of discrepancy, and we'll talk about this, when he was actually booked after the arrest. He's remained there without bond ever since. The feds have yet to release his formal charges, which have sparked widespread speculation. Some people are celebrating the arrest, while others are angry about it. What happens next? We may never know. We will know. I'll share my thoughts on this situation. Fine. Then after that, we'll discuss the Delaware County Republican picnic that was held yesterday, Saturday, August 9th, 2025. Several statewide office holders were in attendance. Overall, the turnout seemed surprisingly low, in my opinion. Others might disagree with me. That happens frequently. Is this a sign that people are choosing to steer clear of the chaos and dysfunction that the statewide Republicans have been embroiled in lately? And understand this, ladies and gentlemen, this is coming from a conservative libertarian, conservative, someone who once upon a time would have called myself a Republican, although I'm not part of this Republican mess. I am a constitutionally minded, conservative-ish libertarian, yada, yada, yada. Okay, but I don't have a problem calling it out when I see it. Do the local Republicans recognize the craziness that's going on at the state level? What will it take? And if they don't see it or refuse to acknowledge it, what will that mean for the local Republican Party moving forward? Probably nothing. Lastly, Bilbrey, that's me. Again, I'm reading in third person. That's so strange. I am cute. Isn't that amazing? A lot of people just don't see it, but I know it. It's a what is it? I have a voice for radio and a face, a face for radio and a voice for the silent pictures. That's what I used to say. Then lastly, we will go over the meetings. We'll also talk about the Lieutenant Governor of Indiana's continuing deep fake video scandal, the ongoing developments surrounding Muncie and Delaware County's political shakeups, and what all that entail, and then the busy upcoming week. Okay, so let's get into it. First up, let me find it. Oh, here we are. First up, Anderson City police officer Tyray Wilson arrested by the FBI. Take a look. Here is his mugshot. Now, there's a little bit of discrepancy here because the date of arrest says August 5th, 2025. The bookend date says August 6th. Yeah, that's kind of true, but it's also kind of not true. We'll talk about it here in just a moment. I want to pull up here this the first video. Now, I want to say this as I'm talking. These videos, I did not record these videos. These videos were recorded the day of the actual arrest. Good evening, Tisha King. These videos were recorded the day of the actual arrest by a gentleman that most of you from Anderson probably know. I'm friends with him on Facebook, but I don't know him. Domino Real is the man who recorded this. Thank you, Langley family. And for the people that have done the memberships and all of that, thank you. Kate will put those up and I will get to you. So I thank you that very much. Catherine, you're talking about state level charges. This is the FBI. So first and foremost, let's make sure that this happens. Okay. This is very important that people need to know. I'm a former police officer. Okay. So I'm not just talking about this kind of out of my ass. So if I'm driving down the road in my little cherries and berries mobile and somebody is up ahead of me, is drinking and driving, or somebody up ahead of me is punching their mama, or if somebody up ahead of me is dealing cocaine, and I pull you over as a town police officer, a city police officer, a county deputy, as a state police, or as the bunny police, as a conservation officer. So any kind of state law enforcement or any kind of county sheriff, local city cop, if I pull you over and I arrest you for something in the state of Indiana, I take you to jail. The prosecutor's office has 48 hours to charge you and to take you before a judge and to charge you, or else they have to let you go. Now, close to the end of that 48 hours, there is a law that says they can request an additional 72 hours. So that's the 48 hours and then an additional 72. Okay. So that's 2 days plus 3 days, and weekends and holidays don't count. So if you understand, weekends and holidays don't count. So you can get 48 and then an additional 72 to charge you at the local level or the state level. That's not what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with a whole nother ballgame. This is federal, all right? They don't go through the state prosecutor's office. They're going through the U.S. attorney's office, and they're having to deal with grand juries, and they're doing all of that. When state officers or county officers or town officers or city officers arrest people, a lot of times they will arrest them, and then they will fill out the probable cause sheet. 99% of the time, if not 100% of the time, they're doing it differently on the federal level. They're filling out the probable cause sheet. They're getting the warrant, and they're going. So they already know what the charges are. They've not released the charges to us. We do not know them yet. But they know what they are. They know what they are. Ryan Webb. So that's Langley family. Get out of here. That's on my Bilbrey OnlyFans. We'll put that up towards the end of the night. All right, so here's the first video. We're not going to watch these whole things. I'm just going to kind of show you what's going on, give you a rundown, and I have not had a chance to talk to him about this, but he's put it out on social media, so we cobbed onto it. I did give him credit for it. Thank you for putting this out there, and here it is.
I said, I'm going to go down there and see what the police it is, and I seen him FBI going. I said, keep going.
Damn. I parked in the swamp.
Back up a little bit. I'll tell you when to stop.
He parked in the swamp. Hey, it's hard life trying to get the good shot. I get it. The one thing you know, the cameraman always lives. So no matter what goes on, a boy's going to be safe because he's the cameraman. Nothing can befall him.
Hold on, y'all. I'm a little discombobulated. I'll be back.
That's one of my favorite words. I love this guy.
Hold on, I'm going to do.
If anybody knows this guy, have him get a hold of me. I'd love to talk to this guy. I'm a little discombobulated. I love this guy. So what we're looking at is he's got a good shot down the street. He's taking a look.
I'm a little shaky, y'all.
They've got the big boys in down the street.
What's up, brother?
And it's interesting when he's talking about
what's
this.
going on over here, man? Your dog, this your dog right here? They gonna get you.
Come here.
I respect that.
Come here, doggy. Is it the one that came out that house?
Hey, I'm sorry about I'm trying to walk down here.
Jesus. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that.
She's all right.
She's all right.
So we've got some agents down the way. They don't know what they are
I
because they're
seen him with
talking.
Buddy in cuffs. I don't know where he at now though. They up.
All right, that's the end of that video. All right. We'll move on here now. We'll move on to the second video here. The second video up. It's a little bit longer
We don't know
video.
who they had in cuffs, but somebody was in cuffs. And but they dang sure rolled up deep. I seen them down there. Yeah,
Now,
I seen them down there in the
something's happened. Something has happened from the time his video went off to this video, because he says they had somebody in cuffs. Don't know who that was. Now, my sources that I've talked to, I have sources at the federal level. I have sources inside the Anderson City Police Department and sources, obviously, in Anderson. And what I have heard was that Tyray was not arrested at the house. Tyray was arrested apparently in some kind of a traffic stop, which is very common in things like this. They would rather get people outside of the house, because inside the house, that's your territory and you know it better than anybody else. And you could have weapons. And knowing that this man was a police officer, he's obviously got weapons in the house. Now, I've talked to a lot of people that say that no matter what this man's accused of, he's not a bad guy. He don't run with weapons. He's not, other than being a police officer, he's not somebody that would ever hurt anybody. I don't know this man from Adam. And I want to be very clear because I'm taking a lot of heat. I'm not judging this guy. There's a lot of people that are like, well, you need to keep this quiet and you shouldn't be posting. I'm sorry, this is just what happens. This kind of stuff doesn't just remain quiet forever. Everyone's like, you put in your post. Let me read up the post here real quick. For those of you that don't know, there's probably some people on here that have no clue, that are not from Anderson. This blew up over the weekend. I made a post and it blew up in Madison County. There are probably other people that watch the feed that have no clue what I'm even talking about, what we're talking about here. So I made a post yesterday that said, I guess I made it Friday late. This was breaking news. Federal Bureau of Investigation arrested a City of Anderson, Indiana police officer on Tuesday, August 5th. He was then booked into the Delaware County, Indiana jail on Wednesday, August 6th, and I'll talk about that here in a moment, where he's currently being held without bail. Anderson, Indiana, Anderson police officer Tyray Wilson was arrested at his home, which is not really true. He was arrested in a car. We've now since learned that. On August 5th on a federal warrant served by the FBI, according to sources inside the Anderson City Police Department. Wilson was booked into the Delaware County Jail the following day, Wednesday, August 6th, 2025. And as of Friday, August 8th, however, no charging information has been released. According to those same sources, Wilson is being housed in Delaware County for his safety, both because of his status as an Anderson police officer and to keep the arrest discreet. Now, I want to stop here for a second and say this. People are like, well, it's discreet, but you're posting it on Facebook. Look, it's their job to keep it discreet. It's not my job to keep it discreet. If they want to keep it discreet, they need to keep it from me and people like me. That's their job. Hey, hello, Domino. Is that how I'm saying that right? Domino Real. Thank you for your awesome video. I gave you all the credit for it. And you got good video of what was happening. Thank you. So I just wanted to give you that shout out and make sure that you guys knew that I was not stealing your content, because that's not what we were looking to do. But they were looking to make it discreet, not me. There were also people saying, oh, they're trying to protect him. They're giving him that extra. No, listen. Yeah, they got to. I don't care who you arrest. You don't want someone to be arrested and you put him in jail and you get him killed. That's obviously not the point. They have a duty because look, I don't care what anybody says until this man pleads guilty or until he is found guilty, he is innocent. So that's the first thing that we got to say here. I'm not saying, ha ha, look, they got Tyray, he's guilty. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this is what happened. Thank you, brother. I didn't figure you did. I just wanted to let you know, man. But the number one thing here is this dude is an American citizen. He is afforded the same rights that we are all afforded. He is innocent until proven guilty, and they have a duty to keep him safe. It doesn't make sense to put an Anderson City police officer in an Anderson jail in Madison County. Makes sense to hold him in Delaware County. That only makes sense. Okay? So they're not like doing anything to give him special. Anybody that would be in some kind of a way that they would be major seriousness, they would look to do something. Sometimes they will look to actually put people in state prison, in the prison system, rather than county jail. If it means keeping them safe, they have other ways to keep them safe. They have a duty to keep him safe. Okay? Whether you like him or don't like him or whatever the deal is, all prisoners, everyone that is jailed, they have a duty to try to keep safe. Okay? Those same sources have claimed that the case is linked to crimes involving narcotics use, abuse, and distribution. I'm just going to be real with you. That's the number one thing that I've heard from the very start of this was that it's pretty much a very poorly kept secret, meaning that a lot of people in Anderson, in Madison County, a lot of people know that this man has been for a long time moving a lot of weight, allegedly. The allegations are this man has moved a lot of weight. Now, that's not me saying it. I'm just repeating what I am hearing from everyone. I don't mean like, hey, you're going to the bar Friday and it's the first time you've been out in 6 months and so you wanted to go and get a little bump. I mean like this dude was moving weight in cocaine. Okay, just going to tell you what I've heard. That is what it is. Some people might want to say, well, that's hearsay or this or that. Listen, when the truth is the truth. He's innocent until proven guilty. They got to prove it. Just telling you what's being said. All right? It is what it is. So that's what the allegations currently are. This matter has been kept extremely quiet. I would assume in part because, number one, he is a police officer, so they would try to keep this on the down low. They don't want his law enforcement friends to catch word and him to skedaddle. They also just have a history of keeping things on the down low. It's the feds. It's the feds. That's what they do. All right? There are many questions remaining unanswered, but we'll be here. The political spotlight will be here. Others will be looking into this situation and asking questions and sharing updates when we receive them. Stay tuned for more on this story. All right. So that's the writing that I put up about this. Now, along with the writing, I also put up a couple of different pictures. Number one, I put up the mug shot that I got. Here's the mug shot. Okay, it is what that is there. I also put up a news story with it. It says Wilson becomes third generation APD officer. Anderson Tyray Wilson is the third member of his family to serve as a member of the Anderson City Police Department. Wilson was one of 9 new officers who were sworn in Tuesday during a ceremony at the Anderson Police city building. A lot of people happen to be there. Wilson, 22, is following his father, Ray Wilson Jr., and his grandfather, Ray Wilson, as an Anderson police officer. My dad is smiling down right now, Wilson Jr. said of his son who's joining the police force. Tyray Wilson said he's always wanted to become a member of the police department after watching his dad serve for almost 30 years. Wonderful, touching story. Some people are like, well, why did you include that? Why do you include that? Why do you include his swearing in? Okay, because there are people that don't know who this gentleman is. And there are people who will say, well, that ain't a police officer. How do you know he's a police officer? But I just stop all that nonsense. Just stopped all that nonsense. I put it up there. That way, you guys know, we all know it's the same person. It is who I'm claiming it is, and it is what it is. Braden says, I've met this officer before. He seemed like a good guy. I've heard multiple incidents with him and cocaine. I'm not sure if this is related, but this is actually crazy to me. And to this, I want to say, there are also multiple other stories of this man being suspended from the police department for being drunk on duty, for drinking and driving. Okay, those are obviously wildly different circumstances, other than dealing in cocaine or large amounts of cocaine. Obviously, okay. Obviously, there's a problem here. Obviously, there's a problem. Yeah, listen, I'm going to tell you, right, 100%. So the warrant, they received the warrant. They had the warrant in their hand before they ever started this, which means they had probable cause and they went before a judge and they received this. And this isn't a little county judge in Madison. It's not a judge in Delaware. They went before a federal judge. This is the United States Attorney's Office in the Southern District of Indiana. This is all federal. So for everybody that's talking like, I've been locked up in county, but this is not what this is. This is the federal level, okay? So, all right. There's a little bit of confusion on when he was actually booked into the Delaware County Jail. He was arrested on Tuesday. That is without a doubt. He was arrested on Tuesday, August 5th. But there are some issues with when he was actually booked in. And I'm going to tell you, I'm reaching out to my sources. I've reached out to 2 sources in Delaware County because I wanted to know if he was being held here, why. And when I reached out to one source that is a solid level source, they say, yeah, he's here. He was booked in on the 6th. Then when I reached out to another source, they said, yes, he was here. He was booked on the 5th. Okay. When you look him up in the Delaware County Jail lookup, a lot of people are saying he's not in the jail lookup. He's not in the jail lookup. Yes, he's in the jail lookup. I've looked him up. He's there. I've shown these people how to look him up. I don't know if they were spelling Wilson with 2 L's or spelling Wilson with a K. I don't know what they were doing, but he is in the lookup. Okay. The lookup that there is now is this. It says Tyray Anquan Wilson, 29 years of age, booking date and time, 8/6/2025 at 5:20 at 17:20:09. That's 5:20. Okay. 8/6/2025. However, if you were quick on the draw, there was also a bookend sheet that looked like this. Tyray Anquan Wilson, 29, bookend date and time, 8/5/2025 at 21:55:22. That's 9:55:22. So we've got 2 different things here, and I'm going to have to ask why tomorrow. I'll contact the Delaware County Sheriff. I'll ask him. I know Tony. We're good friends. I have no problem getting this information. I'll find out what's going on here. A couple people have been like, well, maybe he went to court. It don't matter if he went to court or not. I don't know. I have no clue what's going on there. Okay. The only thing that I know is even if you go to court, you still only are booked into jail like this one time. So we'll just find out what goes on. I don't know what goes on here. We'll find out. I'll let you guys know. It's not really the end of the world. It just is what it is. We'll figure it out, and I'll let you know. That's why there was confusion about this. There's people saying, like, why is there confusion? I'm going to tell you, the FBI didn't just put him in handcuffs and book him in. They talked to him. They're going to talk to him. They're going to want to talk to him. They're going to want to talk to him for quite some time, because we all know what happens here. They're going to want to get information for him. You know, it's not crazy to think they're going to want to ask him to talk. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And then I don't know. I don't even know that I would say that he was in the FBI office. He might have been in Muncie. To me, I think they would have taken him to Indianapolis. We'll find out. So here's the other thing. I have sent out my documents that I send out to a couple different folks. I have sent out questions to let me pull this up here 1 second. Christine Bavender from the FBI. She's a spokesperson from there. I've talked to her many times. Okay. She'll provide an answer. I've also sent the questions to sources that I can't name from the federal level. So I'll keep you posted and let you know. I will keep you posted and just let you know what we hear about that. I'm assuming we'll probably get some kind of a statement on Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm assuming that we'll get some kind of minor statement, but I'm going to just be very clear. The FBI is very zipped-lipped on stuff like this. You're not going to hear anything. They're not going to come out and do what happens in state cases where they'll basically lay the entire case out in the paper. That's not going to happen. They're going to say, yeah, we have him. These are what the charges are. And we don't comment on ongoing investigations or prosecutions. Bottom line, that's what's going to happen here. So as soon as we know more, I will let you guys know. You can follow us right here. We are live Sunday through Thursday at 9 p.m., but you can always subscribe to the channel, okay? It doesn't cost you a dime to do so, and you can hit the bell. We also release static videos, recorded videos, so you want to do that for that. So I will let you know. Let me see. I've got some messages here. I want to make sure what we're hearing. Let's see here. I don't know where are the people? Where are you contacting me from? Oh, all right. I see it. Oh God. Okay, hold on here a second. Yeah. We'll know what goes on. We'll know what goes on with him being taken out of court. I mean, it's not the end of the world. Either way, we'll figure it out. The biggest thing would be the deal with the bond. You know, maybe he'll have no bond, but they have to let us know. And I always like to hear that after we know what the charges are. You know, here's the other thing. People are like, "Oh, you shouldn't be talking about this. This is bad of you to be doing." And I'm like, no. Look, you don't understand. I'm not I'm not hating on this guy. Okay, we don't know what's going on. And even because the feds have you, listen, 90% of the time, when the feds come in and pick you up, they don't make arrests that they're not going to take to trial, and they don't take cases to trial that they're not going to win. That's just the bottom line. So I would say they've dotted their I's and they've crossed their T's. There's people on there like, when you finally know the real story, you'll know, and he's going to be released, and they're going to owe him an apology. That's not going to happen. That's just not going to happen. Okay? That's just that. Okay? That being said, again, until he is proven guilty or until he pleads guilty, he is an innocent man. And so this is something that I would definitely cover to make sure that he's not being held in a jail without his rights. He needs to be given bail if the charges warrant that. Okay? And if he's not given an amount of bail, then we need to know why, and we need to know what the charges are. And I'm saying that we will more than likely know what they are by Tuesday or Wednesday of this upcoming week. And in the federal system, it's not a crazy thing to be arrested on a Tuesday and for the charges maybe to not come out until that next week. That's normal. So we'll follow all of that, and if and when I hear, I will post it to my social medias, and I will say it all here. If you're interested in following it, you can follow along here. We'll let you know, and I'll post it everywhere I post it, and that's that. So we will do that. Domino Reel, once the feds get you, it's over. I also know another person the feds froze everything and served a warrant, and nothing ever happened. However, neither one of these resulted in an arrest. This situation, there was an arrest. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. They did that to Brand, and he got everything back. Now, the difference with Brand is Brand was never arrested. They never arrested Brand. Brand was a weird situation. They went and they served a search warrant with Brand. They asked Brand to talk. They wanted Brand to talk. And I'm pretty certain that Brand talked to them with an attorney for at least a little bit. At that point, they said, they're done. And that was it. Now, the ATF is a joke. I mean, the ATF should not exist. It's laughable, and what they were doing to him was laughable. Stephen Brand, the current commissioner of Delaware County, Catherine, in 2023, the ATF came in and said, "Oh my God, guns! Look, it's guns! He's flying his flag upside down. Guns!" And it was like a nothing. Yeah. That's the same thing. Right? Yeah, Rachel. It's very similar to. Well, yeah. That's the thing. They do it differently than like state or local police. Local police will make arrests based on probable cause and write that probable cause while you're in jail and send it over. FBI doesn't do that. The feds generally don't do that. If you are jailed by the feds, I didn't say always, it's not 100%. You can get out of it, but normally it's a done deal. So real quick, I'm going to go back here and look through the comments just briefly to see if there's anything big that I missed or I didn't have. Kate doesn't have anything starred, so I'd say we're probably good. Again, thank you for the money. Thank you for the watching. Thank you. And that is a minor amount of guns. That's a very small amount of guns if you're a collector. if you have family that's collected guns, you know, that's not many guns. Yeah, and I would say that's probably the biggest issue there, Rachel. Absolutely. And because I don't like to let the fans down, I will tell you. Here we go. There, see, I even licked the mic. So, all right. On from there, we will move on now to the Delaware County GOP picnic. If we only had like 3 more arrests to talk about, so we didn't even have to talk about this, I would be much better. So, yeah, all right. The GOP picnic. So, this, ladies and gentlemen, was the picnic, the big event that they were going to have, and they were going to have it at one location, and they were going to have it at another location, and they were going to have it at a third location, and the chairman was out of town, and everything was, to use the word of the night, discombobulated. Give a shout out to Tina Turner. Tina Turner's watching? That's amazing. Skylar. Well, hello, Tina Turner. Let me ask you, is the big wheel going to keep on turning? Is that going to happen? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Yeah, all right. So the big day was yesterday. Thanks to everyone who attended our Kay Whitehead Republican picnic today. The food was catered by VKA Kitchen and Catering. It was delicious, and they enjoyed hearing from Representative Victoria Spartz, Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith, Danielle Elliott, State Treasurer, Elise Nelashala, I can never say the name, State Comptroller, and Secretary of State Diego Morales. Feeling inspired and looking forward toward our next event, our Lincoln Day dinner. Sorry, I think I might have did the Nazi salute. I didn't mean to. That I was trying to point, but I had my whole hands open, and that was completely, totally not connected to this. That was just weird, but that's not what I was trying to do. Onward, I'll have to from now. Good thing my hand was off screen. Be sure to follow the page, hashtag Delco GOP, hashtag Team GOP, hashtag We Are Family, hashtag Indiana Republican Party, yada, 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 yada. So here's the thing, okay? And I'm going to tell it how I see it. I talked to a couple people, and I'll let you know. Here's the big picture. Of course, we always like to get together in the big picture for the big picture. Let's see what we've got going on here. Okay. We've got a lot of people here. Loads of people. We've got Matt Kantz, Jeff Stanley, Rose Selvey, the highlighter queen. We've got judges. We've got state people. We've got, look at Bill Hughes back here in the background. J.D. Prescott, unfortunately. Diego Morales. Dan Ridenauer. Scott Alexander. Tim. Eric Hoffman. Whitehead. Eugene Whitehead. And on and on and on and on, okay? There's a lot of people here in this little picture. A lot of people here in this picture. However, when you look at all of the rest of the pictures throughout the day, it looked sparsely attended. Okay? It didn't look as big as I thought it would. Matt, I'm going to tell you something. I have asked some people. So I RSVP'd to this event. I sent an RSVP to this event in case I wanted to go. Now, people say, why don't you go to events like this? You should go to events like this. Shouldn't you go to events like this? You could talk to people. You can ask them questions. I'm going to say this. I used to go to events like this when I was up and coming in politics 25 years ago, when I used to campaign for people and I was on that side. Now I hold people accountable, and I don't need to go here so a bunch of fake people can act fake and tell me some bullshit. I talk to 95% of these people. We talk on the phone. Some of them I'm friendly with. Some of them were just acquaintances, whatever. But I talk to them truthfully when it's me and them. I don't need to go here for them to bullshit and lie and to hear the same old, same old. If I want to talk to the lieutenant governor and ask him questions, I don't need to go and ask him a question he's not going to answer at this Republican event and people yell at me. I'll call him up on the phone and I'll say, hey, Micah, this is what I'm hearing. Were you guys looking at the porn in there of deep fake? You know, and he can lie to me on the phone or whatever if he wants to do that. If I want to call or need to talk to the mayor, I'll call and talk to the mayor. If I need to call and talk to Ryan Webb or Scott Alexander, we'll do that. Okay, I can call and talk to, I can call and attempt to talk to J.D. Prescott, but he's not going to answer. But he's not going to answer me if I'm there either. If I'm there in person, he's going to say, oh, I need some law enforcement over here. Bilbrey's asking me a question. It's all nonsensical. Now get out of here. Ryan's like, I would have given it to you straight. But see, I don't need to ask Ryan there because I just call him on the phone and he tells me. He'll talk to me. So that's like not, it is what it is. Yeah, there's 2 or 3 people there that I could go and have a real conversation with. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was, as far as I'm concerned, it was open to the public. They posted it on their public Facebook page, and they made it look. Now, if you would have just shown up, I'm thinking they probably would have served people, but they did ask people to RSVP, and so they did ask for that. But as far as I'm concerned, like when I RSVP'd, they weren't like, no, it's you. You can't, they just take it and you're there, you're in. They just ticked off a number. So theoretically speaking, yeah, anybody could have just shown up there, RSVP'd, or I guess just shown up, the chairman said, here's this, share it out. Here's the information. And from my point of view, he told me to share it out. Now, I didn't really share it out. I talked about it. I posted it, but I wasn't like, come on, one, come on. It was what it was. So that's the thing. I'm going to put out this little bit of information, and I hope Tim listens to this and Tim understands. Listen to me. Give somebody else the camera other than Jessica Piper and Jessica Piper's mother and the 3 or 4 hangers-on around Jessica Piper. Do not let Jessica Piper run the camera, and I'm going to tell you why. Because when Jessica Piper runs the camera, you get 54 pictures. 42 of them are of Scott Alexander's butt, Scott Alexander from underneath, Scott Alexander from up above, Scott Alexander from next to Jessica Piper, behind Jessica Piper, in front of Jessica Piper, behind Jessica Piper, whatever. And then you're going to get 2 or 3 of Eugene Whitehead. You're going to get 2 or 3 of the lieutenant governor. And you're going to get 4 or 5 of Dan Ridenour. And that's going to be it. And that's why it looks like it wasn't very well attended. Give someone else the camera. Do not let Jessica be in charge of the camera. The one thing I can say is at least Jessica's seeing some growth, because 4 or 5 years ago, and it would have just been nonstop selfies of Jessica. So she is growing a little bit. But Tim, my guy, you're not doing, I'm just going to break it down. So far, from what I've seen the last 6 months, since March, however long that was, 5-6 months, the delegation is not going very well. When you delegate less to Jessica. Rose Selvey was there. Yep, she was there. Get an Asian to take the camera. Hey, you need to go over and offer your assistance. Offer your assistance. Since we've got the Asian in the... Since we got the Asian in the chat here, hey, Catherine, does the camera lens open this way or this way? Bring the Nikon. Did Ryan do a Facebook Live at the event? I don't think so. I don't think he did. No, I don't think so. So, I don't know. Looks like they had a pretty good time. Listen. Here's the deal. It opens diagonal. Yeah. So, the bottom line is, like, Republicans showed up. The people that are, like, massively these people adjacent showed up. Here's what I'm not seeing. I'm not seeing a lot of the other regular, just normal people that are out there that are Republicans that would more than likely attend an event like this if they pushed it out there a little bit better. I think that they really need to do a better job. But here's the other thing. For the love of God, can't we have just a local event without the state people? We do not need the state people here. Let the state people, that's what the Lincoln Day is for. This should have been a local candidate event only. Hey, Republican Party, do this big favor for me. And I'm telling you, this will be for yourself. It's not even for me. I don't care. Stop kissing the statewide's ass. Yeah, right. That's right. That's right. See, Ryan just said it right there. The Democrat, the Republican Party needs to stop looking solely to the Democrat Party to get more Republicans in. You need to start looking to the public at large, bringing in new people from the public. You need to bring in people from the public. There are people out there that will join the party. There are people out there that want to join the party, but they want to join the local Delaware County Republican Party. They don't know what's going on with all of the chaos and the drama of the state party, and they're just like, I don't need that. Why not have an event that is local? Here's the problem. Everybody's like, we got to have big people, the big statewides to come in to make the draw. No, you don't. Have a party, cater, and say, come get free food. Come talk to us. What I want to say is, But I here's the deal. That I get it, but there is a flip side to that same coin. A lot of times there are a lot of people out there that say, I don't know what's going on here with this statewide candidate and that statewide candidate. I can't get this guy to answer who paid for his India trip. I don't know if these people are watching pornography in their office. I don't know what's happening here and there and everywhere. And look, I don't care about getting into all this crazy political scene. I just want to help my community. See, this is the big thing. People need to understand. People need to understand. Local politics is not Republican and Democrat. Local politics is not Republican and Democrat. City council, county commissioners are not talking about immigration. They are not talking about Second Amendment rights. They are not talking about whether or not we're going to take over border security. They're not talking about those type of things. There's a place for that in the local party that people can talk about at various points. But for the majority of the thing, people say, I want to help my community, and I just need to know which area I need to go to. And I just wish that every other event could be, all right, this is going to be state events. This is going to be toward the state event. This is going to be the local. And that's exactly right. The Delaware County Democratic Party needs to be told the exact same thing. I'll be honest. In my opinion, the whole thing behind the Muncie Resist, to me, does not jive with the Democratic Party locally, what it should be. Because the whole concept of Muncie Resist is national politics. That in no way helps the local stuff. Matter of fact, Muncie Resist was posting some posts not too long ago that the Democratic Party posted, and they were actually taking shots at their own sitting city court judge. It was nuts. It was nuts. They have a Democrat judge for city court. Muncie Resist takes shots at that judge, and the Democratic Party shares that post. Jordan Law says people these days have become tribalized, especially within national level politics. Presidential campaigns and movements become toxic these days. I had to leave a movement yesterday. That sucks. That sucks. Do you think that either party actually wants the public there? They may have to answer questions. Yeah. No, I don't think that. No, that's the problem. Hell, I don't think either party even wants half of their actual candidates there. They only specifically want the candidates that align with what they want. Ryan, that's a very good possibility that could be. Very could be. I would be shocked to be, that would be very hard, to be in that position. I don't know. Looks like they did a good job. People said they did a good job. I think it was better attended than what I first let on about. But I will tell you, I think that they would be better. They would do better if somebody else was running the camera. That's all I got to say about that. I don't know. Kind of a funky deal there. It looks like in my opinion. Okay, talking about picnics now. We cannot forget. This is very, 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 very big. State Representative J.D. Prescott's 7th anal picnic is coming up very soon. Very soon. I got to get the information. Okay, let me put this up on the screen so we can see it. Wait a minute. Does that say 7th anal? I meant 7th annual, damn it. Oh, I could go in and fix it, but that would take too much time. We'll just leave it as it is. J.D. Prescott's 7th annual. Sorry, that says anal. All right, whatever. Anyways, here we go. Re-elect J.D. Prescott for state representative. We're gearing up for this year's picnic on Saturday, August 23rd. We have a great lineup of guest speakers, food, and activities for the entire family. State Representative J.D. Prescott's 7th anal picnic, okay? Here is the event. Now let's read this all together as the class. You are invited to the 7th annual State Representative J.D. Prescott picnic with special guest Secretary of State Diego Morales, State Senator Scott Alexander. Because I'm telling you, Scott Alexander, like I'd like to put J.D. Prescott, Scott Alexander, and Delaware County Councilor Jessica Piper into like a ring and see what happens here. Okay, see what happens. All right, because I think that Prescott and Piper would beat each other to the death to see who could cling to Alexander more. Okay, but on this day, Scott Alexander is going to be there with Josh Hirschberger, Indiana Family Institute. August 23rd, 2024 at 11 a.m., 4131 North 100 East, Winchester, Indiana, 47394. Bring the whole family out for a great afternoon of food and fun. This event is free of charge, but contributions are greatly appreciated. Sponsorships available at the 500 Platinum sponsor or 250 Gold sponsor. Okay. If you would like to contribute, make checks payable to the campaign to elect J.D. Prescott, yada, 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 yada. Okay, and that is J.D. Prescott for state representative, 5650 North, 500 East, Union City, Indiana. Paid for and approved by J.D. Prescott for state representative. Contributions to the committee are not tax deductible. Okay? Now, my question is, do you think we're invited? Do you think we're invited? Does Diego have a room at someone's house here for all these events? Yeah, I know, right? Hey, he's got a room in all 92 counties because he is the only statewide that has traversed all 92 counties. Ask him. He'll tell you about it. Over and over and over and over and over. Only if we have the money. Oh, I'll donate to him. I'll donate to him. Gladly. I want to know if I can go because I am not anywhere nearly as crazy as the other idiot that showed up there. I say, Eric, you and I should try to go to this event. Park down the street, and I'll ride on the back of your chair, and we'll be like, look, if you want us to go, we got to like ride very slowly out of here. You know, like, look, we're leaving. We're leaving. We're still leaving. We're God, I don't know. Look, it says you are invited. Listen, I'm you. It doesn't say everyone but Kristopher's invited. It says you are invited. What happens if I take my grandparents? If me and my grandparents show up to this event, what? Will they kick us out? Would they kick me and my like 80-some-year-old grandparents out? Well, Carrie, not last year. Was it last? No, it wasn't last year. It was the year before. The year before, somebody went and they caused a great big scene. It was insane. But the person didn't do anything to help himself. He was just standing there in the corner. What I would do if I went to this is I would be going up and talking. Before JD ever saw me, I would be going up and I would be talking to the people there and mingling and doing a good thing and talking and having a good time and being nice. And then by the time JD saw me and started to get crazy, I'd be like, but everybody here loves me. And my grandparents are right over there eating. Look at this. Cheese, crackers, and a lot of bologna. That should be... Damn it! If I go, that will be the name of that episode. If I go, that'll be the name of that episode. Hold on. I gotta take a picture of that. That is really good. That is really, 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 really good. Go in disguise. Yeah, well, you never know. We will see. That's a really good idea. Yeah, I want to know because I think that invitation is definitely for me and for all of you. I mean, it's for whoever wants to go. We're all you. I am he, as you are me, as you are we, and as you are me, and we are all together. So yeah, I don't know. Take Mayor Dan with me. I don't know if he and Dan get along. They might. I don't know. Time will tell. All right. So moving on. Hello, Space Cat. You Stumblefoot. Will they refuse access to a totally disabled, very polite veteran in a wheelchair? That wouldn't be a good look, would it? No, I don't think so either. Now, I am totally disabled. I know it. I've just never been medically determined, but I guarantee you I've got some kind of disabilities. It's absolutely true. If they just thought for a minute, they'd be like, okay, yeah. So I don't know. It wouldn't. I don't think it'd look good for either one of us. Moving on. Lieutenant Governor deepfake scandal continues. It continues. I know. Like everybody wants to forget it. Definitely those people want to forget it. Everybody wants to say, oh, this is not happening because Rob Kendall said something the other day that absolutely, yeah, Kate says, take Niles. He can show JD how to properly wear his holster. Yeah, I can probably. Yes. Rob Kendall said something the other day and that I thought, man, sometimes I feel like Rob is speaking like we're just speaking directly to one another. And it really made sense to me what he said. And he said, let me see, I'm trying to get down here to it. Yeah. He says, the theme of the Kendall and Casey show today, this was last Friday, is just because someone hasn't come forward publicly doesn't mean they haven't come forward. And I was like, yes, preach it, brother. Because he's very right. I don't know how many times I have had someone come forward and give me information saying, this is the information, this is what happens. There's only 3 people that know this. The other person, me, and you, meaning who they're now telling me. So it would be like I watch something happen to Ryan Webb, and I call Kate, and I'll say, listen, Kate, listen, I'm going to tell you something, and this is what happened, but there's only 3 people that know this: Ryan Webb, myself, and now you. And so you can be the person that breaks it. You can break it on the political spotlight, but you've got to wait for a month, or you've got to wait for a year, or you've got to wait for, until you can find it some other way or whatever. That happens all the time. And then later on down the road, when it's like came out, I've been like, yep, that came out like 6 months ago, but I could never release it because I couldn't find this way or whatever. But that happens. Rob is very right. Stumblefoot! I'm stealing this from you. That's really good. That is really good. Why is this a big deal? We've got a lot of other fake boobs in office running around. Why does this matter? Oh my, that's good. That's good, Stumblefoot. I like it. I like it a lot. Here's the thing. People are so stupid. So stupid. It's 2025. We all have these in our hands. We all work with these tablets or these computers that are in front of us all around me here. I could download something onto this, watch it, pour this and put this in the bathtub, take it out, put it in the microwave, burn it on fire. And there are people out there that could pull up the deleted information on this file. They could do the same with the computer, the laptop. They could do the same with this. I have an AOL account still. So at the end of the day, one of 2 things is going to be proven to be factual. It's going to be proven that, yes, there was an AI deepfake video, deepfake pornography put on Mrs. Haggard's head, which sounds like a wonderful band name. Mrs. Haggard's head. Opening tonight is Mrs. Haggard's head. Anywho, they're going to come out and say that's there, or they're going to come out and they're going to say it's not there. And then this is going to be over. And here's the deal. If it's there, I think people will be criminally charged. And if it's not there, I think there will be other people criminally charged. Now, the people that Micah and company are alleging are making these stories up are the people that are smart enough to know, that this shit can be found. So I don't think that's fake. I can tell you what happened with the Hillary Clinton emails. They're out there. It's just the same thing as the Epstein list. Just we've never had anybody that's ever cared to release them. They're there. They're there. Absolutely. Yeah, Admiral Eric, that's true. The Hillary Clinton, just because they haven't been released, I just think it's because the right people haven't been. And I'll put Trump on that. Why didn't Trump release those during the first time? Whatever. They're there. Now, you might not be able to release every single one. You might not be able to get back every single one. There might be things that are corroded or corrupted, but you can find out that there's a there. Tucked away. Ding, 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 ding. That's it. Stumblefoot with the assist tonight. Really coming in clutch there, buddy. So yeah, that's that. I don't know. I just think it's going to be bad. I think. Listen, for the people that are out there saying, "Oh, this is just the establishment trying to do away with Micah." If that were the case, Jim Kehoe would not have resigned. I was sold on this. When Jim Kehoe resigned. The fact that Jim Kehoe resigned lets me know that this is a done deal. So that's that. I don't know. It is what it is. So yeah, that's what I gotta say on that. I think we're gonna learn more in the next week. This is not gonna take a long time. It's not gonna take a long time. There's a person out there who's currently being interviewed by law enforcement who has said that they will come forward with everything they know the moment they are cleared by law enforcement, and that time is coming very soon. Michael will do away with himself by his reactions. Absolutely. That's exactly true. That is exactly true. All right. So moving away from there. Okay. We are just about done. Let's just get through this real quickly and we'll be released and on and on and on and on. Busy week ahead. Meetings, and more meetings and more meetings. Just cannot stop all of the meetings. We've got a lot of meetings this week. Okay. Oh no. I about did something stupid. Okay. So first up, most important locally in Delaware County. All of these are important in the areas that they are at. For Delaware County, probably the most important meeting this week is the Delaware County Plan Commission meeting for the Solar Ordinance this week, Tuesday, August 12th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Okay, there it is. You see it there. There it is. Doors will open at 5:15. Anyone wishing to speak must sign in at that time or prior to the start of the meeting at 6 p.m. Yada, yada, yada. All of that's there. Okay. If you want to email anything to these people, as I think that you should be doing, you can do it by emailing the executive director, Kylene Swackhammer, at ksw at co.delaware.in.us. K Swackhammer at co.delaware.in.us. You can also send emails to Delaware County Commissioner Stephen Brand at sdbrand, SDBRAND at co.delaware.in.us. I watched up. I need to watch the very end. I have not. And you or someone else told me that there were a lot of information about there. I will watch it tonight, and we'll talk about it Monday ahead of Tuesday's meeting. So we'll watch it, and I will see what that is. I saw that they put that out there, but I haven't looked at all the comments. I'll also look into that because someone else asked me that as well, but I hadn't seen it yet, so I will look into that. We'll watch that. Okay, so that is Tuesday. Okay, also coming up on Tuesday in a very different city. We'll play it tomorrow night. We'll play that tomorrow night, Tweety Bird. That I have that written down. So we will definitely play it ahead of the meeting, and if we need to bitch about it, we can or whatever. Because I do agree with you that is important. So that's Tuesday. Anderson has their Redevelopment Commission meeting at 5 p.m. Tuesday. They're going to be talking about the rules. That's the rules where they told Rebecca Crooms to sit down and to stop videoing, get that out of my face, out of other people's faces. And so we're going to see what goes on there. Tuesday at 6 p.m., there's also a very important Madison County Council meeting. Very, very important, okay? That is at 6 p.m. in Madison County. Then obviously, Wednesday is Board of Works at 9, Henry County at 11, Henry County at 4:30. There's also an ethics meeting at 6, I believe. And then Thursday is the Delaware County Redevelopment Commission meeting at 9 a.m. and the Anderson City Council meeting on the 14th. There's also something really big on the 14th. Okay, let me tell you what time it is. Thursday, the 14th at 2 p.m., there is the Muncie City Unsafe Building Hearing Authority meeting. And this is the meeting where Ridenauer said to the woman, "This woman drives me nuts." So I'm going to attend this meeting and once and for all ask Ridenauer to apologize on the record at this meeting, as he should, because it's gross what he did. And the whole board needs to stop being rude. So we'll try to get them to do that. Who knows what's going to happen? That will be at 2 p.m. this Thursday. I will be there. It will be grand. And I will keep you guys posted. Okay. The only other thing I think I've got, I don't think I have anything big. I've got a speaking engagement tomorrow at noon. So it'll be interesting. It'll be me going and speaking to a group that have asked me to come speak about politics here in East Central Indiana. I think it's going to be very interesting. And so depending on how that goes, I'll let you know. You guys can pay me to come speak for you too. Whoever in the hell would want me to come. No, it's going to be a great time. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be wonderful. And apparently they're going to be good food. So I'll let you guys know how that goes. We've got a lot to talk about Monday, a lot to talk about all this week. We've got another great set of shows for you all week. It will be fantastic. It will be wonderful. And I'm sure if you watch, it will change your life. Ask the Unsafe Building Committee why Dan Ridenauer was able to sell the old jail when they deemed the building unsafe. I think I will, but I think his answer will be that it was remodeled and made safe. But I will find out. So, Stumblefoot, thank you very much, obviously. Gas money, thank you for your $10, Stumblefoot. Don't forget, my hair is combed right here, brother. It is combed. We are on. Thank you all very much. God bless each and every one of you. We will keep you guys posted and let you know what's going on. Let's see here. Well, okay, so I thought that's what you meant there, Michael. What they're saying there is basically is it was unsafe because the jail at the time that it was built was only built to handle, let's just make up a number because I don't know off the top of my mind. It was only built to handle 300 inmates. What they were doing was they were stuffing the jail full. So instead of holding 300 inmates, they were holding 580 inmates. And what they were saying was the jail was made unsafe because they were overcrowding the jail. So the building in and of itself was safe, but it was unsafe because of the way they were utilizing it. That's the reason they needed to start sending prisoners, people in jail out to other counties like they did frequently, which also then cost us money. That's the reason they wanted to, quote unquote, buy or build a bigger jail so that they didn't have to do that. And we would also have room to take inmates from other counties and from the federal system. So that's that. Oh, and it just dawned on me why people are saying, oh, Delaware County is a federal holding cell. We're not federal. Like, people don't come here. Is there overcrowding for people who are on like minimum in prisons? They can come here. That's not why this guy from Anderson was here. It's a totally different thing, but I'll get all of that from Tony and let you guys know for sure. But it just dawned on me why people are saying that. So that's what the deal is there. So yeah, that's definitely here. There's definitely issues with plumbing or whatnot. I mean, that was there. My thoughts being that when they sold it and they did the reconstruction, hopefully they fixed those issues. But if not, those issues will definitely arise and that'll be a thing. But that's the main thing. So, all right, you guys take care. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. Have a great work week. Great start back to the work week. And we will see you for episode 505 tomorrow, Monday, God willing. You guys take care and have a good one. Goodbye.